Okay, so I don't really care what I look like. Don't pay attention to the lighting and all this. This is just like, there's like no good videos on like benzodiazepine withdrawal, like on YouTube. There's like all these doctors that try to like explain what it's like, and I don't know, like, so from my personal experience, and I have it, I've been on and off over the years with anxiety, and personally they're an amazing drug for like once in a while, like having some horrendous bout of anxiety or just having a situation where you just really need to relax. The problem is that because they work so well and you actually like really calm down and relax, people end up saying, wow, I want to experience that again. And then once you do it, like, just, it's so quick to get addicted. So it doesn't take much, I swear. And that's the hard part, is that, you know, after a few days of it, you find yourself just feeling really anxious. And then you like are like, oh gosh, yeah, the last time I took my medicine, it was like 5 o'clock yesterday. Well, look at the time. It's like 4:45 or 5:15, whenever. You're like, oh, I'm starting to really feel this. And so then you have to take it again. And so now, instead of it treating the anxiety, you're anxious because you don't have it in your system. So it like completely backfires. And now you're just anxious at that time of day until you take it. So then when you try to get off of it, that can be hell. So they're trying to come up with like things that like really explain what it's like. Okay, well, it's horrible. Like, and then the longer half-life ones, this is what happens, is like you'll skip a day maybe, or like maybe take less. Like you take more one day because you're just having whatever. Like you can have a prescription where it's like says take, you know, one twice a day or whatever. Maybe you did that day, or took an extra one to like fall asleep or something, and then the next day you didn't take as much. Okay, at least that's my experience. I'll try to limit it, and then it'll hit me, but it's like I don't realize what's going on, and it's almost like something feels very wrong with me. Like I start feeling like I can't focus and concentrate at all, like, and then I start feeling really agitated and irritable and quick to snap and anxious. Like, it's horrible. Okay, so yeah, you take the edge off, whatever. But if you don't realize that you're withdrawing, like you don't know what's going on with you, you might not go to your pill, and you might just be like, what is wrong with me? You know, and then all of a sudden it gets worse. And then next thing you know, you're almost like catatonic, and then you start getting really emotional and crying and being paranoid and depressed. And so and then it's just really tough. That's all I can say. Obviously, you know, insomnia, whatever, your restlessness, those kinds of things, that restless legs thing, and it's a whole gamut of emotions, I was gonna say. But it's like, it's hard to describe because you look normal, but like you don't feel normal, and then you start thinking people like don't understand what's wrong with you, and it's this like paranoia ensues. And I want to say it's just important to like wean yourself off. Like it can be done. I've done it multiple times. but you don't want to go too quickly, I guess. And that's what some people might end up doing. Like, you definitely can't go cold turkey. And I've tried to drop it too quickly and then got myself in trouble. And I feel like it's harder with the longer acting ones, like the Clonazepam. You know, everyone says, you know, oh, Xanax, this and that, but the longer acting ones will confuse you, because the more you have in your system, the more like longer half-life it is to get that out of your system. So it's like, you don't even realize it. Like, I thought I was weaned off. Like, this was years ago, like 12 years ago or something. And I was not weaned off. I actually went to rehab to quit drinking. I don't drink alcohol. So that's a good thing. But you can't take the benzodiazepines to rehab. So I thought I was good, but I would occasionally take, like, 3 milligrams or whatever to fall asleep, like, because I was prescribed like 3 milligrams a day, but I didn't take them every day. But so I didn't even realize that, like, I was physically addicted. So I go to rehab, and then several days into being in rehab, all of a sudden I feel horrible. Like, I feel like my head was floating out of my body, like I was disconnected from, like, I couldn't explain. And it kind of realized, like, oh no, I must be withdrawing from the medication. And so then I went to the psych ward. Well, I didn't go to the, I took a cab. Back then they had cabs to the emergency room, but coming from rehab, tried to ask them for anxiety medicine, and they were thinking I was drug seeking, which I was not. And so it was horrific, and they wouldn't give me anything, and it was getting worse and worse and worse, to the point where, I had some with my, I guess he was my fiance at the time or whatever, at his house, or it was like, I just need to get a hold of him. But it's like they wouldn't let me call anyone. It was just so creepy. And so I snuck out with my hospital gown on and was trying to get access to a phone so I could call him. And nobody would take me seriously when you walk up, so I walk up to this car and I'm like, can I use your phone? I need to call somebody. Well, I look like an escaped inmate, essentially, like, or from the psych ward. I don't know. Like, I had just a gown, ass hanging out and everything. And I'm like, I just need, like, they were smoking a cigarette, I remember. And I was like, oh, can I get a cigarette? I was a nervous wreck. And I was like asking them to let me call my boyfriend. And I was trying to get them not to call the police and trying to explain the situation, but obviously I looked nuts. So they called 911, and I saw the cop car, like, I hid in the bushes, and it was dark out by that time. They literally had the strobe lights going, and I'm in the middle of these bushes trying to, like, finish the cigarette roll, like, hiding from the cops. And so then I was like, oh, I just need to get a phone, right? So I start going to this, like, down the street to, like, these houses and stuff. And there's people partying. It was like Hispanics. They didn't really speak English. So I'm like trying to be like, here I am in my hospital gown. Like, please don't call the police. Can I get a phone here? I gave up because the squad car comes pulling up, so you can't really get anyone to believe you, sadly, when you're in a hospital gown. Like, apparently that's a red flag. Apparently that's like, there's some woman walking around in a hospital gown. We're concerned for her. So I literally just walked in the back of the squad car, and just sat. Because I was like, oh, well, There's nothing I can do. I told the cops situation stuff. She understood, but they take me back to the hospital, and then, yeah, they end up putting me in the psych ward, which was fine because I got a psychiatrist, and thank God I was like, yeah, I need my Clonazepam. Okay, boom, done. Then I was fine. Like, it's like, I don't know. So the moral of the story is, I don't even know what it is, but I just wanted to, like, do a little, like, actual video that actually explains what it's like. Because I've been, I just don't like being on it. Like, I don't like taking it regularly, you know, and you go through this period in your life where you kind of need it regularly, and then, it's just very difficult to, like, get off of it. But it can be done, you know, it just, you know, I saw that Jordan Peterson had to go to, like, you know, it took him like 2 years or something to get off of it. And he had to go to, like, rehab. And I'm like, wow, like, this is, wow, you know, because, like, I've been able to, like, get myself off at home, like, just drop down slowly and stuff. But people don't realize how horribly addictive it is. But it can be like a miracle drug, but it just needs to be used in moderation, and people need to know if they're using it every day, then they're gonna have to, like, they are screwed if they stop taking that pill. And then they've gotta, like, know that then they're gonna have anxiety without the pill, so it kind of, like, works against you. It's really only best in, like, kind of an as-needed basis, and people that don't abuse that, you know. And it sucks because it works so well. It can calm you down and make you feel totally normal without making, for me, I didn't get high. Some people get a buzz off. It was just what my body needed, so it just chilled me out, right? You know, it's like technically alcohol in a pill form, but you don't get the buzz. You don't get, like, I mean, some people might feel one, but in a low dose, it just kind of makes you like a normal, chill person. So it sucks because you want to be in that state, but you cannot use these pills like that daily, because then, boom, then you're, like, anxious without them. So, and then you have to be very careful, like, getting off of them. But I don't know. I just wanted to put that out there because I feel like nobody's doing a very good job of explaining it for some reason. So thanks. Talk to you later. Let me know in the comments what you think.